Good morning, good morning. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. It's a little cloudy today, but they say it's going to be warm. Well, we thankful anyway. We woke up. Today, we're going to talk about you guys music artists getting their Ascaps. For many years, people have been putting down the music industry. There's so much been going on, and a lot of people was watching me. We had some music artists that would sell drugs to come up, and invest in themselves being a music artist. Even after they get a deal, because the deal money don't last but for so long, and that's just the way it is. Once you've helped your family and buy all the fancy stuff, there's no longer any money. So then they go sell drugs. You have some artists that create crimes such as insurance fraud. There's all kind of things, but I took the route of going to work, to invest in myself, and that's the American way. Now, it's sad that they didn't tell these people that the American way is to go to work. We got music artists as like Jada Kidd, Style P, Busta Rhymes, even 50 Cent. He had a job at one time. We don't know what he's doing now, but at one time he had a job, because we have to live up to the hype. In other words, market our music, invest in ourselves when it comes to the way we look, the clothing, what we want to present ourselves as. Some people, they get deals and they invest their money into other things like businesses, stores, different things like that. However, if you're that music artist where you didn't get a deal, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Now, me, I can go as a solo artist and fight for a deal, but it doesn't make sense. Let me tell you why. I mean, it can be done to save my businesses, but in reality, it doesn't make sense due to I personally own the publishing rights to my songs, and being that I owned them, I could only sell it off, and then get a deal, because I would still get full 100% royalties for my music. So I would have to sell it off, which I've been trying to do on certain songs, which is legal. It's so legal, the government been watching, and they actually have on the tax forms, have you sold any digital products? Okay. So, you gotta laugh, because the only one that sold CFTs is out of the country, which is he was in Canada. Okay. And I've been trying to sell my copyrights and stuff over here. So they ready. They like, okay, we're going to make sure she reports this, because it's on the tax forms. I had to laugh when I seen it, and I'm like, okay, not yet, y'all, not yet. I didn't get a purchase yet. But, the government always want they cut, especially when things is legal. Okay, so you gotta respect it. But with that being said, let me explain to y'all a little bit what Ascap does. Now, if your music is not put in Ascap, okay, I'm gonna use my son for instance. He might get mad with me, but it's just these are just the things that we go through. I'm not gonna say not listening because he thinks I'm old, so he thinks I don't know anything. But I try to tell him the older you are, the more you know. And sometimes, older people do a little bit more studying than these younger people, which I did. So I told him, I said, son, he wanted to release a few songs on his own. And I said, okay, you do what you do, And it's funny, it's not just him. It's other people too. And then they get mad when they get caught up in nonsense and say, well, how did this happen? And a lot of that comes from listening to things on TikTok that is not true. You have to do your research and look at the logic of certain things. Okay, just like I had, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. I had talked to a friend. He said, I want to buy a 2-family home. And I laughed. Because you got these people on TikTok, social media, talking about buying a 2-family home. And the reason why I laughed is because if you buy a 2-family home, the price is going to be higher. That's number one. Number two, they say, okay, you buy a 2-family home and you rent the home, okay, the second home. So that person or whoever lives in that apartment can pay your mortgage. Sounds logical, right? Sounds like it can be perfect. But it's not the reality of life. You never want to put your life in a position where you have to depend on other people's money. That's the number one mistake. Okay? So, in other words, if you're not in a committed relationship, building, okay, say you have a husband, wife, whatever, kids, and y'all all in a committed relationship, and y'all buy a home, you expect every individual to come up with the mortgage, and y'all live in the same house. However, when you have a bunch of people, if one falls, maybe one can pick up the slack. Okay? Maybe. But it's easier when you got more people trying to pick up the slack than you have one person trying to pick up the slack. Now, for instance, this person was telling me, I want to do, what is it called? Where you rent the house out for money. That new thing, Airbnb. Now, Airbnb has been a big, big thing. And some people have made a lot of money off of it. But as time went by, now more of us are going back to hotels instead of Airbnbs. It's comfortable to be in a home, a beautiful home when you go, and it's a little cheaper sometimes. But that's not how things were done. When you go somewhere, you want to go to a hotel where you ain't got to wash the linen, you ain't got to do nothing. They'll do it all, even clean the toilet. Okay, you rent an Airbnb, you mess up the toilet, make a mess, you got to clean it. Not taking, trying to shut down Airbnb, but it's a beautiful thing. However, some people like hotels. So, you can't guarantee your life for the next 30 years on Airbnb, because Airbnb may be hot now, but the next 10 years it might not be. So what do? You still got to pay that mortgage. Then if you decide to rent, this is the downside to renting. If the person doesn't have the rent money, You stuck paying it. So you see where it can be a negative downfall if for some reason something didn't go right. So why would you want to put yourself in that predicament? You buy a 2-family home after you have built equity inside your single-family home. So you can have some money on debt or in the bank. You got to make it make sense, people. You got to look at the reality of life. Okay? So you buy your single-family home. You pay your mortgage for so long. You have monies in there. Then you take some out, put a down payment on a 2-family home, and you rent them both out with the hope and have faith that the tenants that you get don't go through things. And you may meet a tenant that makes 6 figures and he just want to rent because he don't want to own a home. It happens every day. But then guess what? One day he wakes up and his company that he works for is downsizing and he's the one with an unemployment slip. And guess what? You're not going to get paid. And then you got to go through the process, which is about 60 days to either get them out. So now you went 60 days without income. And now the bills still got to get paid. But you'll have equity in your home where you can say, hey, go to the bank. Hey, I need this amount of money to help me out to pay for this investment that I have. So you got to think logical, because if that was the case, everybody in America would have a 2-family home. And when you buy a home, they ask you, is this going to be your primary residence or your investment residence? It's a reason, because you're taxed more on an investment residence. Just starting out, that's not something you want to do. See, they'll tell you all this good stuff because they maybe saw somebody do it or they lucked up and did it, but that don't mean it's always going to happen for everybody. So you got to think logical. Or they might have had some monies in the bank to cover the downside of things. Just because a person has a story don't mean that it's for you, because it's not guaranteed. The same with the music. You might put a song out there. You know, we've heard of many artists. Many artists say that they did a whole album. Okay, put it out there. And didn't even get one sale. Some big artists. I'm not going to call names because, you know, if you haven't done your research and know who's who and who didn't get sales and, you know, and think that they may be mega rich, they might have had a deal. They spent their money wisely, bought a house and, you know, maybe a car and some things for their kids, maybe put a little bit of money up. But that don't mean they're rich. They're rich in assets. It's 2 different type of riches, okay? And that's the other thing people don't understand. And it's funny how America is just so, I don't want to say stupid. You know, I'm trying to stay away from that word, unknowledgeable. Let's go unknowledgeable to the type of rich. Okay, you have some people that's asset rich. Most people that have had money in their lives, they're asset rich. Like, I'm going to use Michael Jackson, for instance. He was asset rich. He took his money and put it into things. So they said, well, why did he pass away and he was broke? Because he had assets, not cash. Okay, but life still goes on. You know, they was like, oh, well, he was sick and he was going back out to work. Why? Because he didn't have cash, he had assets. And he still needed cash to pay his bills. and take care of his kids. Okay, and so people look past all of that. Well, he had this, and yet he probably still had it, but it was still an asset. And if people didn't have the money to purchase whatever assets he had, he still had to pay bills. That's the reality of it. Even though he was hurt, even though he was sick. So he had to get up and go to work so he could pay his bills, so he could eat. He needed to go out and do a show because he needed a large sum of money. He couldn't wait on, say, Ascap or BMI to send out the checks, 3 months, as it billed, and he wasn't as popular as he was back in the day, so people wasn't listening to it as much. This is why people like myself and other people, we will go back and listen to some of the older people's music to help them generate income. Because eventually, sometime it stops if it's not active. So that's the key, being an active artist. Okay? It's like myself. I just dropped a new song, Top of My Block. Now, mind you, I have an artist on there with me. Okay? Rock City Gunner. Now, mind you, Rock City Gunner wasn't marketing. Okay, he's going to get some pay, but he's not going to get all pays. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because when I published the song, I made sure I published the song with 2 different IRS codes. Okay, so the reason I did that is because I published it under me, and he can also publish it under him. Okay, because he has one as well. So I may make money off of it. If he don't market, he won't get any money. Okay? He may get a couple of cents, but he's not going to get any real money because he's not marketing, because he has his own code. And then I have mine. But I market. Y'all know how I do. I don't play about my music. But this is why I make money doing it. My business makes money doing it. And when your business make money, some people go out and I just got paid, I've splurged it. You have to invest in yourself. You need a website, because people want to, when they listen to your music, they want to know who you are. They want to know what you're doing, So when you get that investment money, you put it back into the business. That's the way it works. And that's how you get bigger. And bigger. They threw me out to the wolves, and I came back the leader of the pack. Why? Because I invested in myself, and I didn't lie to the people. So I didn't have to keep up an image. That's why we love J. Cole so much. Because he doesn't have this flamboyant image. J. Cole can get on the mic with a t-shirt and some sweats, and people are going to listen to him because they're not looking at his clothes. They're looking at what he says. They like his flow. Well, I'm another one. Sometimes I throw on a t-shirt, a hoodie, sweatpants. Sometimes I'll look nice. I keep my stuff very inexpensive. That's why I have a lot more than some of the other artists. Because I'm not out buying $3,000 outfits to present to you guys, and then I got to keep up that image. So y'all follow me on it? Now, talking about Ascap. Now, back when, shout out to Maryland, because I started my Ascap back in Maryland. I went to the radio station and was asking them how to get things going, And it's sad when, some radio stations don't tell the people, tell the community what you need to do to become a successful music artist. Now, here in North Carolina, they're starting to tell the people. They're starting to uplift the people and help play their music and show them what to do to become a successful music artist. However, I still see that they're not pushing it enough. So this is where I come in at, to break it down to you guys. Not only break it down to y'all, but actually help y'all too, because people don't realize that it costs money, to invest in yourself. Now, when I got the Ascap, of course, y'all know I'll be posting all kind of stuff, and I say, hey, to the other artists, I got my Ascap. And Tiger came back with, well, I ain't never got a check from Ascap, so I don't know what you get that for. This was years ago. Y'all know the rapper Tiger, he's down with YMCMB. And I was like, oh, damn. Really? Okay, well, I got to get to the bottom of this. Why you ain't get a check? I see big artists in here, and I know they getting checks. So why you ain't get a check? So I don't know what your situation is or what you've done, but I'm going to figure this out. So eventually, I went in and I was like, okay, well, what is all of this? I don't understand it. And then they asked for these codes, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. So I hooked up with the other company, which was Vita, okay? And they was giving me the IRSC codes, okay? Because I was paying them, and they gave it to me. So I said, oh, this is what I need over here. Okay, let me take this and put it in here. So then I start putting all my music, it took me forever because I got about 135 songs, which I think is excellent, especially for 10 years. And I've slowed down tremendously, but I put them in. And I started to see revenue. At first it was a little bit, but I was like, okay, I'm on to something. So as time went on, I kept marketing. Now mind you, my label gets paid, 3 different ways. Okay? And I'll talk about that with y'all another day. However, Ascap is the biggest one. Okay? Because they have the rights to go. Now, mind you, America hired them. America told them it was okay for them to go and seek, where people are playing people's music and not paying them. Now, I know y'all remember when Trump got in office. And y'all know I'm big in political, So I had saw where Russia, okay, had stole my music and had it on their websites, and they were physically selling it. And I'm like, and then I saw where UK also, now mind you, they had the videos. Okay, I don't know if y'all seen a video of is it Know I'm Talking About? Yeah, Know I'm Talking About with me and G Unit. They had took that video and put it on their website and was selling it. And selling an MP3. And I said, well, wait a minute. I got like Kevin Hart for a moment. Hold on, wait a minute. What is this? So I wrote them. They ignored me. I said, hold on, Trump, ain't those your people? Talk to them. Because we broke over here. And they selling our stuff. So I don't know what Trump did. Shout out to Trump. Next thing I know, I got a check in the Ascap. And where was it from? It was from Russia. So shout out to Russia for actually following through with the way things are supposed to be. Did UK do it? No. Because they used to giving their music away for free too. But that's not what we do. That's the purpose of having these international codes. To make money, to bring money to our country. You know, and same for them. You know, if they are making music and they want to bring money to their country. I had a artist in Africa, Adwali, and he donated a song to me, but he was going through it, okay? He was going through it financially over in Africa, okay? And I kept telling him, I said, you need to come here. So I'm going to try to build revenue for you to come here. However, he disappeared, but I told him, try to find a job, you know, because that's what we were doing here. You know, I don't want you selling drugs. I don't want you out there doing negative stuff because that could get you into more problems. Just get a job. So I don't know if he got a job or what he did. If you out there, Awali, don't be afraid. I need you to go into Ascap and put for writers, get your writer's membership license, okay? If you're listening to me. The reason being is because they love your song. I get the numbers. They love it. And you need to get paid. I don't want to put it on all platforms and you don't get paid. So I need you to do that for me if you're out there. People, when you make music, you either go to the studio and make a song. Then they have all of these studio apps that you can make the song at home, but you have to pay for them, each and every one of them. Then you have to pay for distribution. Okay? You would be a fool not to want to get revenue in return. Believe me, there's someone out there that can recognize or understand your music. There's always someone out there that's going to recognize or understand your music. It may not be the crowd that you think. But there's going to be people out there that's going to say, hey, I like this. And then they're going to show somebody else and show somebody else and show somebody else. They're going to do their research on you. It's all by word of mouth. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. I had a lot of people around me that didn't understand what I was doing because they wasn't smart enough. They didn't have the knowledge of the music industry. And they kept saying, well, when are we going to get the big bucks? I said, when I go out and do some shows. But yet and still, they was working me like a Hebrew slave. I had to go to work. I had to clean the house, had to take care of the kids. So how am I going to a show? It's not happening. Because if I'm going for 12 hours, the house is in an uproar, let alone a day or two for a show or a tour. But what they didn't know was I own the business. So if anybody's supposed to be putting a tour together, it should be me. I'm supposed to be the one with the monies putting up for the show, the tour, so I can make a large lump sum to come back. We see people go on tour, you know, like we're going to use the baby for instance. He go on tour once a year. I've been watching him for the last couple of years. Why? Because he signed a contract. He has to. But when that contract is over, if it is ever over, he's going to be sitting still with no money coming in. Especially if he didn't protect his assets. Or if he sold off all his assets to the publishing company or record label. We're going to use a person like Prince. I'm going to talk about Prince for a minute. Prince had a label, a deal. And when his deal was up, after he unbuilt all that revenue under the name of Prince, now Prince had a studio in his home, so he was able to get up out of his bed in his pajamas and make a song. If that's what he wanted to do. But he realized that the label, owned his name. That fame that he had was under that name, Prince. So when you do a label deal, you are actually signing your name, your music, everything over to that label. And they're investing in you to get the return. That's what a deal is about. Okay? So they give you monies up front and say, matter of fact, I'm going to use this for instance. My distributor recently, right, gave me an advance. Of course, it wasn't a big advance, but he wanted me to distribute some music. That was what he was telling me, like, yo, where's the music? I need you right now. So I'm like, what's he giving me extra money for? He wanted me to get to work. Like, let's go. I still got to give him another one to compensate for what he, sent me. I'm working on it. But anyway, being that he gave me that money for me to distribute a new song, he's got to take it back. So you understand, that's how deals work. They put the money up front, and then they take it back. So my publisher invested in me. That's what record labels do. Distributors can do it. Anybody can do it. Just like I invested in Rock City Gunner on the song Top of My Block by giving him his own RSC code so he can release the song on his album if he decides to. So that's how this music industry works. Then you got people that come back later on and be like, oh, you cheated me. You did this to me. You did that to me. But I gave you my money. And you got to give it back. So this is when people like Prince was teaching us, change the name. Another one that changes his name a lot, that would be Diddy. Reason being is because the money will go to whoever did the investment. So do y'all get it now? This is why you need to protect yourself in the music industry. There's people that has music out here right now. Okay? It's on YouTube. YouTube, you can download a song and make it an MP3 and sell it somewhere else or play it on the radio in another country. People will never know it. If you don't have a passport and be traveling from country to country, you'll never know when your music is being sold and played. And you'll never get paid. Those are the people that they look for. I'm going to say it like this, the stupid ones. that's not knowledgeable to the music industry. The first thing they go and do and look and see if they have an Ascap or a BMI. It's not about, do they have, like a lot of people say, oh, you don't have a Wikipedia. Okay, because nobody won't do it. I can't do my own Wikipedia. So nobody won't do it, or well, they get my information from my website. However, if they go to the repertory in Ascap, they'll see me in there. Say, but uh-oh, okay, we like this song, but we think she's worth paying for. Yeah, she's worth it. Okay, let's blast this thing. But if you're not in there, they good to go. So we ain't got to give them no money because they ain't even invested themselves. And that's the reality of it. Especially when you don't have a label. See, those are the people that they go and look for. Those that don't have a label, because you don't have nobody to protect you. And then you got some people that have a label and they just not smart enough to do the stuff. Or they're, as we call it, music industry whores. They jump from label to label or publisher to publisher to try to make money. Okay, well this one just hit with so-and-so, so maybe they could hit for me. It's not the label. It's the marketing that you put out, number one. And number two, if you fire, you fire. And that's just that. But you got some artists that would just go from label to label. Well, I'm going to do a publishing contract with this one, do a publishing one with this one, and this one. And they still don't make the money that they deserve. And if they do, the publisher gets it because they put out all the marketing money for them, instead of them doing it themselves. Like me. I own my label, so I have no other choice but to do the marketing. I'm not going to sit back and not market my company because I have a company. It's my business. But let it be an artist. If he's not marketing himself and he's not under my label, that's on him. That's not on me. You ain't going to get paid and then don't come back to me later. Because you ain't under my label. Now, if you under my label, it's something different. But don't think you're going to get the perks of the benefits of being a part of my label when you're not under my label. It doesn't work that way. And that's just on my end. Okay. But there's people that can physically take your music and be playing it. We have how many countries? Oh my gosh. My music is being heard in over 49 countries in the world. Okay, it could be more now. I don't know. I have to look at the stuff. Because sometimes I don't have time to sit down and look at all the countries that's my music is being played in. Almighty Jah got one song. And he's holding down 5 countries for Miss JJ Entertainment right now. He's regularly on the report every month with one song. Because the song was properly put into Ascap. And it was being played and we knew nothing about it. Only place it was distributed was on YouTube. So that's why I laugh at people when they be like, is your music on YouTube? I laugh at them. No, my music is going on all platforms and my music is over here with these other publishers that I have. I'm not a YouTube artist. I'm not into the business of just putting my music out there for people to steal. It takes time. It takes time to write down your thoughts and put them on a song. For some people, it might be 20 minutes. For some people, it might be 2 hours, depending on how they feel. For me, sometimes it could be a 20-minute song. Sometimes it can be a 2 hour. Sometimes it could be a 2-day, 3-day, depending on how I feel. And I'm not giving it away for free because I took my time. My time is not going to be wasted. Even if I get 20 cents, it don't matter. It's mine. And at 20 cents, those cents add up. They accumulate. How do you know that your song is being played a lot? Because you'll get a lot. And that's the way it works. And then when you make music with other artists, everybody's tied in. So, with that being said, if everybody's tied in and you only getting a fraction of what they've gotten, the song was being played. That's how you know. And then Ascap do break down the numbers. Sometimes, all the time, domestically, meaning America, they do break down those numbers. But they break down where your music was played. If it was played on the TV, if it was played, I guess like in a movie, because some people have movie memberships, licenses, where they can play your songs in a movie or on a TV. That's the legal way to do it. So don't put all your energy and money and time into making a song, you distribute it, then you throw a YouTube video out there. Okay, you went through all of this with your peoples and your friends, and you make this video, and then you throw it out there on YouTube, and somebody in another country come and strip you of that and take everything. And then you saying to yourself, well, that song was fire. And I was getting all these views, and then all of a sudden it stopped. Why? That's because they took it over somewhere else. And they're selling your music. Or they're playing your music, and you're not getting 1 red cent. That's what Ascap does. Keep track. Ain't nobody gonna keep track for you. Everybody gotta make their money. But they keep track of it. Now, like Ascap knows, Jackie has 49 countries that like her. Okay? Well, I don't think they know about all the countries. Because a lot of my countries come through my podcast and my Spreaker account. Okay? I said get to see most of my countries on there. And Ascap may not even know that, but they do know the countries that play Miss J.J. Diamond. Okay? They know. On their end. Until they realize I got 46, 47 more countries, 48 more countries. See, they haven't even gotten that far yet. So I still got monies out there somewhere. I know I do. But they haven't even gotten that far yet, because right now they're focusing on the heavy ones. The ones that they know is making money. Hey, give me that. That's Miss JJ's. She's my client. See, she hired me. Give me that. And then some of the countries is just going to send it to them because they know that you're already in there. So they don't want the beef. They're like, look, here, just take it. We jamming over here. It's respect. But some of these countries just take it. Just like America. America is thieves too. They'll take your music and be playing it all over the place. And you'll be the biggest artist ever and broke. Turned up with no money. I think I made a song about that. I think it was X. Is it XO? Yeah, XO. I say that in that song. You be turned up and broke. Can't even walk the street because the paparazzi taking pictures of you, but you be broke. That's the way it is. Then you got some labels that don't allow their music to play in other countries. I don't understand why. I don't know, because they don't want their artists to go there. But you don't have to go if you don't want to go. That's what the bigger labels are not understanding. If you don't want your artists going to a particular country, even though they playing the music, that's your choice. But why not get the revenue? So make it make sense, people. You know, I'm just throwing that out there, and this is for the bigger labels. I'm trying to understand y'all theory. Because if they want it, they're going to still get it. They're going to take it. So you're going to let them just take it for free and not let the artists get the revenue that's due to them? Because you don't want that music played in the country and they took the song anyway? Make it make sense. You want all revenue from all countries, whether that artist touched down in that country or not. You gotta make it make sense. Because Facebook got a lot of songs that they won't allow you to use that you've heard on the radio because they don't want it heard in certain countries. And I'm like, well, this doesn't make any sense. So if the other countries like the music, they're going to take it anyway. So why not get paid for it? So this is something some of the bigger companies was doing. Warner Music, Sony, Universal. And I'm saying, well, these are big corporate companies, and y'all got to make it make sense to me now. Because this doesn't sound right. You don't have to book a show in that country. You go to the countries that you want to go to. But give them the rights to listen to it. Just like we listen to, what's the guy? I don't know where he at, Khalid. I ain't heard him perform in America yet. Well, not where I am at. And I ain't seen nothing on the Facebook or the Instagram. But I know we was listening to his song Heavy. So y'all gotta make it make sense here. Now I'm sitting back watching this stuff. I get my little popcorn and I sit back and watch some of this stuff. So I said, well, even in some of these big corporate labels, they're not even paying attention what's going on. And that's why we hire Ascap to do it for us. Now, Ascap has put out a promotion, I'm assuming, because when I first started, and I went into Ascap, I had to pay. Okay. Wasn't a whole lot, but, when money is short for some people, they just can't afford it, So I guess Ascap did that evaluation, and they said, okay, we're going to do this and try to help, It's free. Free. So y'all better get getting why is good, okay? Grab your Ascap. When you're done, grab your Ascap. Those songs that you got all over YouTube, those songs that you distributed to the distributors and they didn't put them in Ascap, get them in there. And if you need IRSC codes, you can contact me. And I can help you with that for $2 a code. It's simple. So if you got 10 songs, 10 times 2 is what? It's only $20. Get you investing in yourself. Because they made it free. And this is a lifetime. Y'all have to do it. Because times are getting hard. We're going through things in the economy. Even though they say America's rich. I don't know where they got that from. But anyway. Times is hard. And y'all putting your money out there. And people is just using y'all music and making money off of it. And it's not right. This is a real ruthless world. And if they feel like you're not going to respect your own money, they're not going to respect it either. So I say that to say, get your Ascap today. You go to your computer or your, now make sure you got your documentation because they want ID. I think they ask for your social security number because this is legal stuff here. Okay? This is legal stuff. Every year, you're going to get your 1099 when you file your taxes. That's why I tell people to work. Because if you work, you can offset your taxes. Because they're not going to take taxes out. So, you get all the money, but you're going to have to pay the government. So if you work and they take taxes out, then you don't have to worry about that because it'll offset. Okay? Excuse me, that's why I tell people to get a job. And you just be a part-time job. Just let them take some taxes. You know? Don't go exempt. That's the wrong thing you want to do. Let them take some taxes. And at the end of the year, you file your stuff. Then the government knows, okay, this is one of the music artists. Oh, let's check this one out. You know they be looking, they be searching because they want to see what you got. Now, you only made this amount of money now. Let me see. Okay. Well, this person, they not too flashy, so, okay, that's about right. Well, this person could be flashy because it's made a lot of money, but, that's smart. They must put it into their house. They investigate these things, is what I'm trying to tell you. They investigate it. The government. Oh, this one right here is popping. Okay, I see you. And what state is this? All right. Let's see what this one talking about on a regular basis. And that's how you become big in the industry, because it's not only your music being hot on the radio. Okay, it's bigger than that. We having 1,000,001 people that they push on the TikTok and play on the radio, and they just the music artists. Let's see what this person doing in the communities. Let's see what this person is about. They start looking and they filing their taxes and they doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, great. All right, let's help it. And that's the way it works. Okay, they get in the office and they. This one is doing good things out there, making music. It's helping around, doing this, talking to the people. All right. They watching. So you got to set forth what you want to do with your music. You can put it out there, but what do you really want to do with it? You say, this one over here, it just goes to work. But it's making good music. Okay, we like it, but you just going to work. You boring. Okay, we want to see the ones over here that's they making money with the music and they doing some other stuff. This one is exciting over here. Let's watch this one. That's how it works. So depending on where you want to go with your music is only determined by you. Nobody else. You could feel like you the most fire ever. But if you don't have the right credentials, it's not going to go anywhere. And then if it does, somebody else is going to be getting paid off of it. Is that what you want for yourself? No. You want to be able to reap the benefits from something that you put together or you made. This is just the facts. They've created so many ways. People were selling beats. Listen to this, y'all. Now, mind you, and this is why I always tie my guys together. A lot of these guys was taking old people beats, old artist beats, right, and remaking them. If you put in one extra little sound, it changes the data, the metadata. Okay, so technically, it's a different song. Okay, now how you gonna take somebody else's beat that they unpaid? Because back in the day, they used to pay thousands for their beats. They would hit up the beat makers, like the one that Missy Elliott deals with, and what is his name? I'm getting old. But he was a beat maker, and like Dr. Dre. Okay, it's his name. I can't think of the guy out in Atlanta. Lord Jesus, and he bumps too. It'll come to me. Anyway, he make beats for people. People pay him for the beats. He released the beat. Okay, here you go. Thanks, man. Hopefully we can make a hit off this one. Yeah. And then 10, 20 years later, these little guys come through and they snatch the beat like, yeah, this one was fire. And they sold a lot of money. They made a lot of money off this beat. I'm going to remake it. I'm going to change the data. They put in one little and it changes the data. Now they selling it to people. Hold on now, listen to this. Now they selling it to people, reselling it to people, and not only reselling it, telling people that they can only make a certain amount of money off of it. And then it ends. Well, who are you? You didn't make the beat from the beginning. Do you see what people was doing? So y'all know me, because I don't like bullies. Give me that. And I take it and give the rightful owner his cut. Now, if you do things right, people can respect you. But when you do things wrong, they're not going to respect you. You can't just take people's stuff and not give them proper credit for it. It doesn't work that way. You do that in Ascap. Now, here we go with these beat makers. I'm about to teach y'all how y'all can make the money, too. Without evil and stealing people's stuff and resetting it with data. So, see, these computers messed up a lot of stuff, y'all. Now, beat makers. You want to make money off the songs that you took somebody else's beat and remade it? You go into Ascap and get you a publisher's license membership. And when you remake this beat, whoever beat it belongs to, you tie them to it. And then whoever you sell the beat off to, then you tie them to it as well. And then everybody makes money. Then if you want to resell it to somebody else, you tie them into the beat as well. But you got to remember, you got to have different IRSC codes. Because each song is going to be called something different. But the rightful owner will get what they are due. Each and every time. So it can be resold. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. So this is why I tell some of even these older artists, if you're not an Ascap or BMI, because you didn't know what you was doing when you was young, getting into the music industry, and you was trying to run things, whatever. Get it now, because you never know when somebody may grab your beat and remake it. And they really want to give you the credit for it. And then both of you can make money. And then a third party, fourth party can come in. And they could all be tied together and all make hits off of that one beat. And everybody will get paid. You got to look at the big picture. Like, I'm going to use the song Rotimi he made with Maya. So he thought nobody knew who she was, But I did. So I said, give me that. And I put it in. I think I told y'all this story before. Because all Maya was able to say is, this dude got a song with my voice on it. I don't even know him. I don't have no ties to him. Where can I contact him if this song would have blown? So what I did to save his butt, so he wouldn't go to court, I jumped on the track so that way I can gain access to it. Because if I wouldn't have been able to jump on the track, I can't gain access to it. So I jumped on the track and I put us all in a database. Of course, it changed the metadata because now it's another voice on there. But then I was able to attach her so she can get the rightful pay if that song was to blow. So y'all see how it works? And then it made her even come back out to work for a little bit. And I was happy to see. I was like, oh, they go Maya, okay. She came back out for a little bit. In other words, here I go. I got it. I'm paying attention. It's a respect level, people. And we got to learn to respect each other in this industry. So you got to tie the artist to the music. And the way we do that is through Ascap. Now, they can deny it. Let me tell you, I did. What song was it that Drake denied? One of them songs I did with Drake. I put in the Ascap. He denied it. I said, you know what? I was over here. You didn't deny the other one, so why you deny this one? And then, I guess he got with somebody else that might have said something to him. I don't know. Then he accepted it. So you see the benefits? If you don't like the song or don't like the people, you can deny it. And they have to live with that. And we do all of that through the Ascap. What I think Drake denied is because he didn't know how the Ascap really worked. I think that's why he did, until he figured it out or somebody told him, and then he accepted it. And I was actually putting it up under his label, OVO. And maybe the song actually belonged to YMCMB, but I put it under his label, OVO. So maybe that could be why he didn't accept it. Because he didn't want to take rights of the song, I guess, maybe without talking to the person who originally, because sometimes we don't really know who originally owns the songs, especially if it's not an ASCAP. So, like, I'm going to use Top of the Block. Now, I use that, the Sugar Hill beat. Now, I don't know who made the Sugar Hill beat. I just know that AZ was on the track. He was the main person on the track. He had a girl in the back. I don't know if they paid her up front and she kept it moving, because I did not see her in the paperwork on Ascap, in the documentation on Ascap, to give her credit. So I gave it to its rightful owner. And that's the way it works. So if you hear a beat and you're trying to listen to, you use it, you make a beat and you're trying to use it or whatever the case may be, find out where these people are. This is why they have all of this stuff. So we can do our research. Some artists may be in jail. Their music is not moving. So you want to help them. It's okay. But you got to do it the right way. That's it. And ASCAP is the big key to that. So there's a lot of ways that we can work with each other together and help each other get revenue. But it has to be documented. As a friend of mine, black and white don't lie. He used to always say that. If you have it tied in together, everybody can get paid working together. But you need the proper codes. Now, ASCAP will supply it's a WC code. They have another code, but they supply that. But they don't supply the international sound recording code. You have to get that on your own. But I am a supplier of that. Miss JJ Entertainment Private Friend Incorporated is a supplier of those codes. So if you need those codes, y'all feel free to contact me. You can call me at 443-805-9841. I'm also on WhatsApp. I'm on Snapchat. You can also email me at shinelikeDiamond100@yahoo.com. That's Shine, SHINE, like LIKE, Diamond, DIAMOND, 100, 100, okay, at yahoo.com. That's shinelikeDiamond100@yahoo.com. So y'all can email me if y'all need them. If you need advice on what you're about to do, I'm also here for that. Consultations that actually, to show you, or no, I'm not going to say show you, to teach you, if you need it, the right way to go with your music. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me, and I hope to be hearing from y'all soon, telling me I got my ASCAP membership. Y'all take care. I'll talk to y'all soon.